who's the other one? Pernak here, and with a new episode of Printing with Matt Pernak. Alright, in today's video, I'm doing something a little different than I was ever planning to do. I'm going to do a reveal or a opening, a box opening, I guess you would call it. You know, people see these on YouTube all the time. This is something I've been kind of wanting to get, and I've always wanted to get a press, and I've never had a press. I've always had access to presses until recently, in the last couple of years. I don't have access to a press now, so I wanted to find the most inexpensive press. I've looked at presses that you could build yourself, and by the time you build them, you end up almost spending the same amount of money and time to get a new press. So instead of just squirreling away I squirreled away a little bit of money, I should say, and I bought the most inexpensive printmaking press that I could find. And it is, let's see here, the School Etching Press right here. And this is from Creative Mark. It's very similar to the Speedball one. So I'm going to be opening this bad boy up today. We're going to take a look at it. And then I'm going to give my initial impressions of this machine and what I think it could be used for and how it's going to be good, or any problems I see right off the bat. What I see is good, what I see is bad, etc., etc. You get the idea. I will not do a review of this just yet, because if I want to review something, I want to use it. So I want to use it for like about a month and see how it really works, and if there's any little tips or tricks or things I can do to modify or make it work better or anything like that, which I'll let you know in the review. Alright, so the box is decently big right here. It says it's 44 by 29 by 23 centimeters. It's a decent size, probably around a 9 by 12-ish, because that's the size that you can print in 9 by 12 prints. I do mostly 9 by 12s, 8 by 10s, and a little bit smaller, so this will probably work really great for me. It says it weighs 10.2 kilograms. I looked that up. That's about 22 to 23 pounds, ballparking it. You can see what the picture looks like. We're going to open this thing up and we're going to actually see what this looks like. So I'm quite excited about this because it took them a while to find my apartment. Every time I get something delivered from FedEx or UPS, they always seem to screw it up. They can never seem to find my place, and they always deliver it to someplace else. I had to wait a couple extra days for them to go back, pick it up from where they dropped it off, and bring it back to me. I was kind of quite upset about that. But, alright, so, got here. Oh yay, look, styrofoam. Okay, pull this bad boy out. Throw that away. So here's the press wrapped up in plastic. And this looks like the handle. And my cushion. And my plate bed. Pretty thick steel. Fill that better. Let's take a look here. So initial impression. Design and idea is very similar to the Speedball one. Very similar to Richardson's baby press, but not as large. The Richardson one actually can go up to, I believe, 11 inches. So you can get a little bit more out of it. And theirs is made of, these side parts are made of cast iron on theirs. So it's really heavy. This one's just, it's steel. I would say it's a good, not even a quarter inch thickness, obviously. It's not very thick. But it's got the two rollers. Oh, that's going to need some oil. So the bottom one has got, it's all marked up and it's textured, so that way you can grab everything. And the top one's here. And it seems decently solid. Nothing seems like it's loose. Okay, and then right here, if those of you who've never used a press or seen one, right here is the adjuster. arms. So you adjust these and you screw them in and out. As you can see, this moves up and down. And as you do that, you can see right here, it moves the roller, the top roller, through like this, so you can get more through here. So it has an okay clearance. You're not going to be able to fit a mounted linoleum block through. Even with the Richardson one, the baby press from them, and the same thing with the Blick one, which is similar to that, you're not going to get much more space with them. So let's put it together. We just set it like this. Take the bed. Now this one doesn't have a drive on it. Some of the higher end models, their roller right here on the bottom will have teeth like a gear. And then on the bed itself, it will have corresponding marks, so it kind of feeds it through. This one just uses the pressure of the force to go through. Now I saw some pictures of this online. Let's put it this way so we could see it. That they talked about there were 2 holes drilled in here on the ends, and you put 2 rivets through here so that way it can't go further than right. It's not supposed to go past here. But if you put a bigger bed on, you can definitely make longer prints. So this one would be good for 8x10s, maybe 9x12s. So I got my, and this is my cushion. It's pretty thin for a cushion. Normally they're a little bit thicker. At least the ones I'm used to are like twice as thick. And then you have what they call, because when you have an etching press like this, you have the catcher, which is a thin, small one that goes on the bottom, the cushion, which goes in the middle, and a pusher, which is a harder felt that goes on the top, which protects this felt from being destroyed. And at least that's the premise of it. And the catcher is there for catching sizing. So if you soak your papers with etchings, which you're supposed to do, it catches all the sizing from that and doesn't let it get onto your nice cushion. So you would feed this through like that, and then you would lower these down. And if you're doing them, I do recommend that you're going to put them down. I mean, I can see that this thing is definitely inexpensive. I mean, it's not that bad. Alright, I'm going to move this to the edge. Let's move you out here. So you can see I'm right on the edge of my table, because I will need to do that for this. There we go. Nope, come on. There we go. Just does not want to put on the right spot. And this is the handle. And this is what's interesting. If you look down here, if you could see it. Can't move it. This right here, it's definitely got it's flat on one side. And that's obviously where this bolt here is going to attach. I would like to have seen this entire part here be flat, not just the flattened area. Just be flat here, and then you put this on, and this has got a little flat spot in there, so it would sit in there better. But that is not the case. So we're supposed to tighten this down right in there. I'll need to twist them. And as you can see, pardon me, as you can see, when it gets to the edge, it does seem like it's having a little bit of problem going. Knock something down. But you're definitely you're going to have to give it a little push to get it going probably on this type of press. Definitely towards the end, it doesn't want to go through. So if I had a longer bed, it might work a little better. There's not a lot of friction on this thing. So if I increase the, I can see that's going to be a problem already. Since this thing doesn't weigh very much, it's very easy. So you got to make sure you have enough. Wow, that is really squeaky. Definitely going to need to oil this bad boy up. Because it's not very heavy, I know I'm going to have to figure out some way of attaching it to something. Oh, wow. That is really bad. And as you can see here on the sides, I can see this. I will probably get some kind of L brackets and bolts so I can clamp it to my workbench or something like that. So that way I can use this more easily. Because there's no way this thing is, if I put any real pressure on it, I can probably make it as I turn the handle this way. Good Lord, that thing is horrible. It will do, I've had it with the Richardson one where if this is the ground right here, or your tabletop, and you twist it, and sometimes they'll go like this, and they'll jerk up and come up off the table. The Richardson one at least has these little metal feet that come out, rubber feet that screw in. You can take them out and just drill holes through whatever tabletop you're working in and just bolt down the tabletop. So far, I mean, this is a much better quality than what I was expecting, honestly. It definitely needs a little bit of TLC. Like I said, you can hear how squeaky it is. And when you're working on something like this, you want to try and make sure you keep your... Let's look up at the top more. Oopsie. You want to make sure these are always the same amount of turns. Because if you have one side more pressure than the other, the only problem you see with this is there's no markings right here that tell you how high you are or what your pressure is. I mean, even the Richardson one, I mean, this one only cost about $230 for a printing press. It's very inexpensive. Oopsie. And, but overall, for $230, I'm quite impressed with it. I mean, the Richardson one, they're like $800. And that's if you can get it with shipping. They're pretty expensive. Same with the Blick model version, that's blue. The Richardson one's gray. I think they're made by the same company. They just put Blick's name on it. But, like I said, the bed is very similar to what the Richardson Baby Press has. It's just a thick metal bed like this. This is a piece of steel. And overall, I think it's alright. I mean, I'll probably figure out some marking system on here and maybe tape down a tape measure and etch a little mark into the edge here so that way I know what that is there. I will probably do that on both sides because that's important to have. That way I can just, you know, I'll probably have it on there. I could just look at the bottom of this. This does seem loose though. What's this? These are just some washers, I think. They don't seem to be doing anything, really. They must be keeping that from stopping there. I bet you if I took this all apart, I could probably take these out and get it to go a little bit higher. But that little less than 1/4 inch isn't going to be that important for me because I don't really use anything that big. Most of my stuff I do is pretty small anyways, because most of the stuff I do is on mounted linoleum or is on regular linoleum, and I do mount it to like 1/4 inch plywood. Now I'm doing a no-no here, or I should have done these both at the same time, but I did not. I mean, I could fit my whole hand under here. Nearly. I could fit my fingers under here at least, you know. So there's a good amount of space there with the bed. Yeah, that's more than enough space for me. Because even when I have my mounted blocks, which I mount on 1/4 inch plywood most of the time, it'll run through this. I just need to cut my blocks down smaller now. You know, it's just a change in my work process, that's all. But overall, so far, my impression of this, it's not a bad little press. Might work a little better. Like I said, I'm not reviewing it. For preliminary inspection of it, it's okay. It's definitely something if you want to do some etchings and dry points and things like that. Or, you can use it for linoleum also. But if you're using basic etching processes, engravings, dry points, those types of things, this press will definitely do small work for you and probably work very well. So everyone, that's my initial thought of the Creative Mark School Etching Press. I didn't think it was a bad little press. It definitely has its flaws, but like I said, we'll find out more of that when I do the actual review in about a month, because I want to give myself a month to use the damn thing. But as always, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, because I'm excited. I'm super excited. I'm really excited about this, and I really want to get using it. I'll let you know how it goes. But as always, you can support me. Give me a thumbs up into the video. If you have any questions, ask them down below. Remember, you can always follow me on my Tumblr, my Twitter, and my Instagram. I'm most active on my Instagram if you really want to follow. Also, if you really want to support me, you can also purchase a print of mine from my Etsy shop. Till next time, everyone. See ya. Bye.